Don't look in your mailbox.
Yeah, we'll do this to say Grandstanders. Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, it's our special Red Sox preview show, and actually our third annual preview show. That's why I've got the Red Sox shirt on.
And it looks good on you.
Thank you very much. Number 4. So it's opening day on Monday, and of course, we're playing our big rivals, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
Kind of weird that we're starting on an interrace.
That is really weird.
Don't like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Going back to the 1916 World Series or whatever.
And why are we
Don't
playing
like
on April 3rd at Fenway Park? We don't usually do that. Usually we go somewhere
The Southern.
They
southern
scrambled
part.
the egg this year on the schedule. I mean, we're opening it at home on the first day available.
And we have a lot of games in April at
we
Fenway
do.
Park.
Yeah, it's
so is this
great.
kind of a screw job to the Red Sox?
Well, in 13 it was like that. Remember, it was very heavy on the home schedule in April.
Yeah. I think Goodell has it in for the Red Sox.
yeah, right.
He's behind this.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, the Red Sox, you'd think they would have the advantage playing in Fenway in April, right? Most of these guys are used to playing in cold weather, right? I mean, we always say that with the Patriots.
Yeah.
You would think the Red Sox have some kind
No,
of...
none of these guys like playing in the
fun
cold.
to play baseball in cold
I think
weather.
Pete's right. It's no fun.
Ever.
You
Yeah.
get a ball off the hands,
Yeah.
and you're going
Yeah,
to feel that
especially
all
against-
game.
And we know, well, you know, I'm much more excited, not of opening day, but of game 2.
Game 2 is Sale.
Chris Sale. I saw the weather report. It's going to be like 27 degrees. Right?
I'm sure the Pirates are really thrilled to face him on day 2.
Well, Pittsburgh's not exactly a warm weather destination either.
No. But when we're looking about positives on the team this year, because he's new, the first person you think about, right, is Chris Sale.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and what he brings to this team, he brings as far as a quality starting pitcher who will eat innings,
Right.
and also a tough guy.
He's
As
saying all
opposed
the
to-
right things. He's doing all
Right.
right. As opposed, he's saying and doing all the right things. You can see. All you need to do is watch him pitch for 3 innings and realize he throws inside. He wants to own the inside of the plate. He's not scared of anyone.
Yeah.
They're going to sell a lot of shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so you think of Chris Sale, and then of course the most interesting storyline will be the 3 Bs in the outfield, right? We've got
yeah.
Benintendi, Bradley, and Betts. We've had Rice, Lynn, and Evans, right? And kind of equal to this, right?
Not really, because this is 3 center fielders out there. 3 guys that are center fielders by, you know.
Right.
And Jim Rice couldn't field this position really well.
No.
You know, Dewey.
But he was exciting, you know.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, Jim Rice is in the Hall of Fame,
The
whether you like it or
excitement
not.
factor,
Yeah.
The excitement
Benintendi.
factor is really high, right? The guy. Are you guys still convinced that Bradley's going to be a
No.
consistent
I am
enough
not.
hitter?
No.
I
Really?
still think it's an open question.
He's still going to prove himself, I think, yeah.
He's got to lay off that high fastball.
Well, he has streaks. He's a very streaky hitter. So when he's going good, you know, and the guy
He's-
can hit 450 in a month.
He streaked his way to 20. What do you have? 27
Yeah.
home runs last
Yeah.
year. Look, if he hits 250, but he hits 30 home runs, that's like a Curtis Granderson guy. You know, Curtis Granderson's
Yeah.
done that for year
Yeah.
after year.
Didn't he
You
have a
take
streak,
that.
still
a hit
with the
streak
Mets.
also?
Yeah, but we've said every year that Bradley's been on the team, because of his defense, we'll be happy if
Sure.
he hits 240, right?
Yeah.
As long as he hits 240, right? So he was far and above what we expected.
His
of him
home
last year.
runs weren't cheap either. They were all bombs to
But I
center
do
field.
worry. I still have this little fear that the wheels will just completely fall off. He'll hit 112 for like 2 months, and we're going to be having a
We've
conversation.
seen that happen.
We've
Then
had
you'll
some
be
times.
glad you have Brock Holt on the team.
yeah, right.
Oh,
Who's
Chris
going to play
Young.
8 positions?
Yeah, I'm afraid
The
Brock is
Brockster.
the 5th guy.
Yeah.
Chris Young. He had a nice year last year. Chris
Yeah.
Young did.
Yeah.
He's a pro's pro.
He absolutely, and then apparently he's going to do some DHing this year. So you'll see a lot of Chris Young, especially against left-handed hitters. And yeah, Absolutely. The guy I don't want to be seeing against
Oh,
left-handed
here he goes.
hitters
Here he
is
goes.
Pablo Sandoval. I mean, people tend to forget because it was a couple of years ago since he
5
last
minutes
played.
into the show.
He cannot hit right-handed.
Yeah.
No, I mean seriously, he's worse than a pitcher
I'm with
hitter.
you. I'm not confident in his ability to hit to hit right-handed pitching.
But how bizarre was it to watch him swing like that? That was not even a major
Oh,
league
it looks
swing.
like he'd never swung from that side of the plate before.
Right.
And he's the problem on the team. I'm seriously, I don't care how well he did
He's hitting extra base hits.
in spring training. That's a joke. He is going to be the problem early because, look, that's who everybody's going to turn their anger to now that Price is on the DL, right?
Well,
If the team does poorly, because
Yeah.
you've protected John Farrell, you've decided that John Farrell,
Yeah.
I think he's going to last the season. Sure.
You think they're going to do poorly, you're saying?
I'm saying if they, no, I hope they don't.
Do you
But if
wish
they,
them? You do. I'm hoping they do.
I wish them that. I love
Seems
them.
like you're really excited about the
He wants them
Pablo
to do
playing
poorly
badly.
until about the
Well,
All-Star
that's
break.
not true.
Fire John Farrell.
Pablo to suck, right?
I hate Pablo. Yeah,
What would it
absolutely.
take?
He wants
What would it
Veritek to
take?
come right to the
What would it take
rescue
for-
and win the...
I love the Red Sox. I root for them. I watch every play of the game.
You're invested. 6
Right,
tickets in.
absolutely.
So, what would it take? Because look, I don't like Pablo either. But what would it take for you to be happy for Pablo?
Okay, first of all, I turned with Hanley. Did I not do
You
that?
did, but in August.
Yeah, but you was hard.
in August.
It was
It was August.
You were forced around.
Right, exactly. And I gave the professor all
did.
the love he
You
deserved.
had to. It
Absolutely.
was live TV.
Right, yeah. So, but it's going to take August from Pablo.
Yeah,
it's going to
and
take.
I'm with you. It's going to take clear through July of him playing.
Oh,
well
yeah,
for
he's
me.
going to have to show
Well, it
us.
is a cold weather, you know.
Making excuses for him.
But also, it's the fielding too. We're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
He's a terrible. The guy has no arm. He's not a consistent thrower. He doesn't. I mean, I know third basemen don't cover that much.
But you didn't have
position.
this problem with Travis Shaw, as I recall.
No, I love Travis Shaw coming up, but then after a while, you know, especially Joe said, the Travis Shaw who really he didn't kill the job. Right, as Joe would say, right?
He let the job come to him.
He wasn't given any extra effort that he had to, right?
Yeah.
But and then they traded him. Now we're starting to think, well, we could use Travis Shaw, seeing that the guy they got this Thornburg.
He is, I think, officially my least favorite Red Sox. Even he's down in Pablo territory for me.
Dombrowski has a talent for getting injured
He doesn't
relievers
follow
and
the
trades.
right. He doesn't follow. It's a great point, Joe. He doesn't follow directions on the shoulder program. He hurts his arm, and then he blames the shoulder program, which he didn't do in the first place.
Right, exactly.
How do you blame something that you didn't do?
No,
He's
right.
perfect.
Right,
Smith, you know, and everyone seems to come with
He's gonna
with problems.
fit right in.
Even Pomeranz came with an
Yeah,
injury.
Joe's making a great point. You now have to start to turn an eye towards some of these moves that Dombrowski made with Carson Smith, Pomeranz,
Yeah.
and Thornburg.
And
And
Kimbrel.
Pomeranz, he had a chance
And Kimbrel.
to redo.
These
Right.
things are starting to
He
not
got a
look,
mulligan on that.
look good. And that's exactly right. He got a mulligan. He didn't take the mulligan. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
great
a
way of putting
weird
it.
situation there. I still don't understand it. So you had a GM, the San Diego Padres GM, who was literally withholding information
That's right.
not only from the Red Sox on medical
couple other
information,
teams.
but
That's
on
right.
deals on the other teams. And first of all, he only got suspended for a short period of time too. I think he still may work
30
for them.
days.
He golfs with Roger Goodell.
Yeah, and then the Red Sox have the opportunity to reverse the deal, the Espinoza deal, which would have given them another top
Who was
prospect
supposed to be a
back.
blue chipper.
Yeah, right. But they won't do it because they're in love with Drew
Well,
Pomeranz.
I think Dombrowski figured he was just going to trade him for another damaged goods pitcher anyway, so he just decided to keep the first one.
Because
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah.
If you get Espinoza back,
Better
that
than
means
evil
he's
we
going to
know.
identify another pitcher with damaged arm.
Yeah,
right,
that
which
was
is
too
more
much of
work
an
for
effort,
him.
yeah.
Right. So he figured, let's keep a bird in hand.
Yeah, right. No, you're right. Keep
it simple.
Right? Let's keep it simple. I already have an injured pitcher.
And we think we know how to fix this one.
Right.
We already filled out the forms.
Yeah, we have
We
the
already
forms.
filled out the forms
He was an all-star.
again.
Yeah, so he was trying to simplify his life.
So I think Chris Sale saves Dombrowski's. I don't think he saves his job,
Let me tell you
but
something
saves
right
a
now.
lot of heat from the for him.
I mean, if Sale comes down with a bad elbow, then we're going to have a big problem.
Yeah,
around here.
because Price was supposed to save that.
Yeah.
Right.
He was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if-
we didn't even include Price in the. Well, I didn't trade for Price, but.
Because this is now Dombrowski's team. He has no excuses now, right? It's not Charrington's team. This has got his mark on it.
Well,
He's had
there
a
are
couple of years to work to build his bullpen, and it's still a shambles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and those are Charrington's outfielders there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
Hanley and Sandoval, like the position players, but the pitching staff is Dombrowski's.
Right, but he's had long enough to put his mark on the team.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, he wasn't going to get rid of those top
That's
guys, but
Yeah.
you know the new guys that he's brought in, we
That's right.
can identify them. We know what they look like and sound like. Let's see how they play.
Yeah, but at least Clay Buchholz pitched to the All-Star. He made it that far.
So I'm going to ask this question again, boys. Will you guys be aggravated if Clay Buchholz
No.
is 9-1
No, not at
And
all.
from the looks of it, I read an
I hope he's
article.
9-1.
He's
I
happy.
I read an article in the Philly, one of the Philly newspapers that there's already whispers and he's hurt and his velocity's down. Thank God he's not in our team
Yeah,
anymore.
he's just cashing out right now.
Yeah.
It's tough to go from Boston to Philadelphia. That's just a very harsh sports town. Look at Papelbon; he didn't like it.
That's a great
Oh,
point.
Yeah.
So all right,
Someone else from the Red Sox is on Philly now.
so I'm never going to let go of the John Lester departure. I'm never
Guess
letting
you are
that
not.
go. I don't care if we're on for 60 years. I will always say that is Babe Ruth. And then John Lester leaving the Red Sox was the second worst
Scotty's
move.
Bill Lee for
Yeah,
Stan
okay,
Pappy.
right?
I'm with you.
It's okay.
Amen, brother.
And so now, Rusney Castillo and Alan Craig, who are sitting back in Pawtucket, are making a combined $22 million to play for the Pawtucket Red Sox. They will not come out, no
Oh,
matter
you
what.
can't. They-
Rusty was hitting the ball too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah,
They can
that's
hit
right.
300. They're not bringing them up.
They're not bringing it up for salary cap reasons, and we'll talk about that later. $22 million a year, boys. John Lester would have been very happy taking $22 million a year from the Red Sox.
I doubt it.
Pretty close. I mean, you could have taken the 22 and added 5 to it, and you'd have had Lester for 6 years.
Yeah, right. And you'd have John Lester, and we wouldn't have to
right.
be worrying about.
Look, it's what ultimately ushered Charrington and Lucchino out of town were those decisions. I'm convinced.
Right. And then you realize bad decisions like this can cost you 5 to 7 years in your franchise.
Well, because
And that might not have been their fault, too, because John Henry was up on his high horse
Right.
about how he learned from some statistician that you don't sign pitchers over 30. And he made that the rule.
So, are we going to be sick and tired, or already sick and tired about this whole salary cap restrictions that the Red Sox?
Well, it
have put
depends
for
on
themselves?
if they're injured. If they play well, we're not going to mind it at all. But if they get a couple of key injuries and all of a sudden you're looking at Kyle Kendrick, because that's the best you can do for a replacement
Bryce
starter,
Brents.
because you can't go get a guy who makes $10 million a
Right,
year. It's going to be a big problem around here.
Right? Because the Red Sox fans aren't going to buy the Red Sox are any way, shape, or form restricted in cash flow.
No, not at all.
No, they print money.
Yeah. But the way that salary cap law reads now, you really get punished for going over the line.
But it's not a hard cap. It's just money. And these guys
Yeah.
have a lot of money. And so
But they attack you on 3 other fronts, too, like on your signing international players, and then you're drafting. And
It's a
money-
Joe, the average fan could
it's a
care
money
less
thing.
about anything.
Yeah.
Look,
It's a
John
money
Henry, you're having people ask you for autographs. They're not saying negative things to you because of one reason: you spend money on the franchise. The moment you stop
yeah.
doing that, it all gets ugly in this town, and you stay up in that little glass box, right?
Yep.
You know, so, all right, so Mike, we're gonna actually go some predictions
Brookline's
now.
own John Henry.
Brookline's, that's right. Predictions for the season, and this is very important because I was thinking about the Celtics predictions, and I think we're going to be almost dead on the Celtics.
What did you say, around 53, 55?
Yeah,
right?
52 to 55. I think we were dead on. So you've got to watch the show because
Take it to the bank.
Yeah, because Vegas has. I don't know what
Take
the
it to the
over/under
bank.
for the Vegas is. I'm betting it was about 88. So all right, Joe, what's your prediction for the season?
Oh, for the
Number of wins.
well, we'll go into the 50s, 54.
Red
No,
Sox
not
or
the-
Celtics?
Not the Celtics, the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Red Sox. We'll give them a solid 91.
Ooh, that wins the division.
Above the 90 line. That's what.
Would we say 90 plus wins the division?
92, 93,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
wins the division.
guarantees it.
I'm more optimistic. I think they're going to win 96, 97 games.
Oh, good for the professor.
I think they've got a really good
Oh
pitching
my
staff.
God! Make sure that we got the tape in right now. That's huge.
They're
Turn up
young
that
players.
prediction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
96,
all right,
97 games.
Pete.
Well, now I feel a little. I like the 91.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 95.
95?
Oh,
What
okay.
happened to your 92?
The middle of the
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go up a
lineup
little
likes the
bit.
big
Because
numbers.
Russ went up, you going up?
No, I'm just kidding.
They don't call him the professor for nothing.
Did I have 92? Yes, I did. Win prediction told him 92. I don't know. He just got me all enthusiastic about it. No,
All of a sudden, Pablo's going to hit the ball.
he affected me. Also, but I can't wait. If I'm gonna root against any one of the Red Sox, and of course I would never do that, except for Pablo at times. Mitch Moreland
No,
is
he's
my
my
next
guy.
one. He's in my.
He's my guy. I've already made
He's the Kelly Olynyk of the Red Sox.
I've already
Yes,
made
he
my
is.
prediction.
Yeah.
280, 10 to 12 home runs, 50 to 55
I thought we had
RBI.
12 to 15 home runs.
No, it was right around 12.
Oh my God, that's not.
But
That's
wait,
wrong.
Bad. He's only going to bat his righties. When I said that 2 weeks ago, you went bananas. So
No, all right, fine. I think it's.
I'll take 280 any day from him.
Yeah.
280,
right.
Bunch of doubles. Going to have a lot of doubles.
Off the wall, right?
A lot of doubles off the
He's
wall.
made for Fenway Park.
So the three DHs,
Call
there'll be
the
three
shot.
DHs, or?
Right, like the old Red Sox. Remember the Red Sox had a 25-man roster
Station to
and
station.
25
Exactly
DHs. Yeah, we do have a lot of DHs on the team. All right, so another prediction. We have Vasquez and Leon starting as catcher. How long before Sandy is sitting on the bench and Christian is the starting catcher?
Game 11.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe even game 2 or 3.
I mean, he'll play, but
Yeah.
before they name him essentially the starting catcher for 3/5.
They'll never name him.
Right.
He'll just become the
catch-
de facto.
Will he catch more than? Will he catch 3 out of
Yeah.
5 games? Is the question, and I think so.
Yes.
Part of the reason I just hated John Farrell last year is, do you remember how many times that Sandy Leon pinch hit at the
Yeah,
end
that
of
was not
games
good.
and literally struck out like he was an automatic out every
he-
time?
He made
was
the last
red
out of
hot
the year,
for
I
a
think.
while there.
He was red hot, but then he
But he won the job.
right,
Right,
but then he
went ice cold. I mean, really cold.
August and
Like
September, he
100,
was just
112 or
abysmal.
something. Yeah.
and then literally
There
you
was
could
no
throw
one to go in there.
right, but you could throw the ball to the backstop and
He'd swing.
He'd swing at it. Yeah, you know, you're right, because great point, because they had Ryan Hannigan as their backup catcher, and that was
He was
Look,
honest. He was honest.
The big problem right now that's shaping up is the bullpen. I mean, I got a queasy feeling about this bullpen right now because Thornburg's out, Kelly is having trouble throwing strikes, and the closer, which we already agreed to, is a real open question.
And you know they really made Farrell look bad last
They
year
made him look-
because he tried to
That's right.
stretch those starters. He got burnt so many times.
Yeah.
That 8th inning problem he had, you know, there was no cure, and there's no cure for it this year.
But it's always crazy. We follow the Red Sox so closely. But I'm sitting there, and it's going to be opening day. Whenever Porcello has to come out, I have no idea who's coming out of that bullpen first.
Right.
You know, right? That's the way bullpens work. They kind of swish them together every year.
We
and
don't
then
have jeopardy. We don't.
you don't know what's going to come out. Who? All right, who's coming out? Who's coming to the 7th inning for the Red Sox right now? Game 1.
It could be. It's probably Chris Kelly, Heath Embry. I mean, not Chris Kelly. Joe Kelly or Heath Embry.
Right. So but you're not sure.
No idea. A lefty, one of the lefties.
Could be
Lefty,
Matt
lefty.
Barnes. It literally could
Matt
be
Barnes.
anyone in the bullpen other than Chris.
Tony Fawcett.
Right.
Yeah,
Might as
bring him
well be.
back.
But isn't that the weird thing about baseball and the
how it
bullpens?
works.
Because never forget that bullpen pitchers are failed starters.
Yeah.
So they're not the stars.
They're not reliable.
Yeah, that's why they don't generally give them big money.
That's right.
All right, so that's it for our preview show because we got to go a little bit of the Patriots, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so we talk a lot with the professor this week. Brookline's own Tom Brady came up with a statement a few days ago that he wants to play 6 to 7 more years.
Well, Bob
What's
Kraft
wrong
came
with
out with
that?
that.
What's that?
What's wrong with that?
That is.
That's where I'm with Pete.
He's-
What's wrong with that?
Know what's wrong with it? There's nothing
It's
wrong with it. I hope he
probably-
plays 6 or 7
probably,
years. That
physically
is
possible.
a screw job. That is a message to one person. That's Jimmy G.
Garoppolo.
Tell him to get his bags packed. Jimmy G is the only person in the world that threatens Tom Brady. Only person.
That's right.
And they're not friends.
Wait. Jimmy G has to get in the game in order to threaten Tom Brady.
Look, Jimmy G threatens him. He got into the game. That's the only. Tom Brady did that. Why would he do that? Why would he
The
say
only
he's
way he
playing?
got in the game is the guy got suspended.
No, but when he
Well,
played
Tom
well.
didn't say that. Bob Kraft said that.
But he's told.
Tom has basically said, and I heard him on a Peter King podcast say, I think I can play
Oh, that one in Montana.
well into my 40s, several more years.
Right.
It's completely consistent
Yeah.
with I want to play
And who
60.
He said
doesn't want Tom Brady
45
to play
in
for you?
that.
But why is he saying that? That's not fair to Jimmy G.
He's
That's-
peeing around his territory.
Why, he should be fair to the backup quarterback? What does he mean by this?
Well, there's no reason to say that stuff, right? But it obviously affects
No,
Jimmy
he's-
G. The guy's career is based on the fact that if he stays.
You've gone soft
You
all of
wouldn't
a
say that
sudden.
if
Now
it was
like
Jed
you're-
Hoyer.
No, I'm just saying. Tom Brady didn't do that for any other reason but to screw
He's
with Jimmy
peeing on his
G.
territory. He's peeing around his
Yeah,
territory.
exactly, right?
Absolutely. But I got no. Do you have a problem with that?
But
Of course I have a problem
Tom
with
Brady
that.
have a
shouldn't
problem
have
with
to
that.
do that.
Why is Tom Brady dictating for the next 6 or 7 years how they should deal with personnel?
Because he's Tom Brady.
He's the greatest of all time. That's why.
Oh, I know he is. Of course, and I love you so much, Tom. Don't think I'm saying it. But,
Brookline's
but
on,
Why do you
man.
hate Tom Brady so much?
I don't have Tom Brady.
What did Tom Brady do to you?
Raise your hand if
I'm
you love
just
Tom
saying-
Brady.
I love
The
Tom
Brady's will have to come on the show
I'm just
here
saying it's not
make
fair to Jimmy G.
clear your
No, but
name.
why should he be
What's
concerned
fair to
with
Jimmy G?
the
Why are you
backup
so
quarterback
concerned?
on the team?
What's that?
Why should Tom Brady be concerned with the backup quarterback?
But he is
He's a-
concerned.
he's a
He's
five-time
concerned.
Super Bowl.
Joe agrees with me.
Jimmy
He is
G.
concerned.
No, I mean, he's a competitor. That's what burns his fire. I get that, but I don't think he purposely sends out a message so Jimmy
Look.
G backs off.
And here's the other thing. Remember, Brady and Jimmy G share the same agent, which is
Right.
the very, very interesting thing about this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I think when Brady says that, that's a signal like, hey guys, I'm going to be around. I want an extension on my contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do with this other guy, you do.
Get rid of him.
And I don't have a problem with that.
Because he didn't say that when Ryan Mallett was the backup quarterback, or Damon Heward, or Brian Hoyer.
why
They
should-
were all buddies in the sidelines, weren't they?
Of all people in the history of any sport, why should Tom Brady have to worry about cementing his job?
Wally Pip.
First of all, I don't think he needs to do that. So I think he should keep quiet. It's him who does it, okay? He does it, and I'm just reacting
He
to
doesn't
it.
like Tom Brady all the
Oh
time.
my
Like,
God! I don't like him. I
I
love
just
Tom
don't know
Brady.
how you could not put the knock on Tom Brady, of all people.
I just think he should
So
keep his.
you're on Team Jimmy G.
No.
You think Jimmy G should be the starting quarterback next year?
In
don't you?
2 years. Oh, wow.
So you've gone on the record as saying you think Jimmy G.
In 2020,
So after
whoa.
2 more
19.
years,
After 2 more years-
no matter how well Brady plays,
You want to know
he
something?
won't be playing to that
Jimmy
level.
G, as well as he played in those games, shouldn't be in the same conversation as Tom Brady.
amen.
What's that?
He shouldn't be even in the same
No,
conversation.
no, of course he should be, because the time is
6 quarters of football,
time
5.5.
is going
of
to
management football.
time is going to catch up on.
The game plan was for him to manage the game. Just
Pete, you saw the blueprint. It's called Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning put up
Won a Super Bowl.
record-breaking. No, but he put up record-breaking numbers the year prior to winning the Super Bowl. When he won that Super Bowl, he couldn't play at all.
well, he
That's
had,
how-
he had a neck operation.
Well, of course,
And
it's
you
gonna-
also
look
remember
at-
Tom Brady, his first year was just a manager.
He was a
Look,
man, I agree with
we
that
got
totally.
Team Jimmy G and we got Team
No,
Tom Brady.
no,
Right?
no.
Jimmy G,
No,
that's
no,
we need
no.
you on
Look
this
what
team.
Belichick is doing.
We need you on this panel.
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh
Belichick
my.
is putting together a team that Tom Brady can do what he does best, which is get rid of the football very quickly for yardage downfield. If they can protect him, he's going to be dangerous for
I think he plays at least 3 more very, very good
effective years.
That's reversing the trend of the history of
years.
NFL.
He's already
There is
reversed.
not-
He's already won
Yeah.
5 Super Bowls. Nobody's won
No,
5
I
Super
know, but he, nobody physically has ever played to a level like that into their mid
After
40s.
40.
George Blanda, the oldest one, he was
48.
field goal kicking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brett Favre had his best season ever at 40.
and then he fell off the table.
I think
Well, no, he
got
threw that
crazy-
interception
He got
in the
crazy
Super
off
Bowl.
the field.
Yeah, right, but I mean something.
you either believe in Tom or you don't
No,
believe in Tom.
no.
Like you've already
No,
declared yourself.
oh,
It's
no,
okay.
no.
Yeah,
I believe in Tom. I love Tom Brady.
And everyone in the
fine.
Brady family has an open invitation
Yeah,
to come
right.
on the show.
Tom, I love him. And then you
Never
come
gonna
to
get
the
Tom
show.
on the show now.
And we'll talk about it. Maybe Giselle.
I think they're all out. I think they're out on you.
But the
You're
point is,
Team
we
Jimmy
shouldn't
G.
be talking about it.
What?
We shouldn't be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo in the same sentence as Tom Brady. Just because they're on the same team, that's it. That's the only
Pete's
comparison.
going old school here. I
When
appreciate
Joe
that.
Montana and Steve Young, that was a huge conversation.
Yep.
There's a huge conversation. Steve Young had sat on the bench.
Steve Young
But
was
Steve
a lot
Young
more
had a lot
accomplished
more
than Jimmy Garoppolo.
time.
Accomplished what in the USFL?
He was a good player.
In a USF.
Well, what Jimmy
Yeah, but
G? I mean,
Montana
6
was
quarters
hurt
of
quite a
football.
bit.
6 quarters of football and got hurt worse than
Against
Brady.
Cleveland.
And got hurt worse than Brady's ever gotten hurt, except for Bernard. Paul.
Okay, so we'll take into account that he's going to be playing forever. God bless him. If he does, I'm very
I'm
happy.
just saying 3
What are we
years.
doing with Jimmy G right now then?
We're trading him probably.
Because we have no reason for it, right?
Right. So we get 2 first-round picks for
Just
him.
playing poker with the Cleveland Browns. That's
Yeah.
all.
You get 2 really good linemen for Tom to keep him healthy.
Okay, but all right, Tom Brady saying that statement doesn't help his trade value. Right? It doesn't.
Well, if you need a quarterback, you need a quarterback. I mean, doesn't
Yeah, but-
matter what Tom Brady's saying.
I don't think
Yeah.
Tom Brady cares about Jimmy G's trade value. I think that's Belichick's.
a lot of people
That was a
around the NFL
message. I
listen.
agree with you. That was a message to Belichick and Kraft. Like, fellas, A, I want an extension.
Right.
B, you got to do whatever you need to do to make Jimmy G happy, right?
Right.
But he ain't playing on my
Yeah,
team.
well, I don't know if Tom Brady has to go to the newspapers to send a message to Jimmy G.
But, all right, but will you at least admit that he's in his head? Jimmy G is in Brady's
Oh, I
head.
think absolutely is.
Yeah,
Well, because he
That's
puts him
my
there.
point.
yeah, Tom Brady, look,
He
got the
deliberately
whole
puts him
Henson
there.
thing,
Just
the
like
whole-
Rodney Harrison used to play that disrespect
Joe
card.
might be right. Joe, he
Even
might
when
be
they were
right.
in first place,
Brian
all the
Bledsoe, that's what he-
disrespect.
right,
you know,
yeah.
The whole thing about Brady is that he's not going to come off the field for anything, you know,
Right.
because he knows what it's like to lose the job.
All right,
So
so
team Tom, team Jimmy, team Tom, team Tom. We just declared ourselves.
you declared I love Tom Brady. You know how much I love you. And if you need me to run errands, whatever,
That's
get
fine.
some milk, I'll get you.
I'm sure it'll work out for you.
Now, Brookline's own Bob Kraft.
Yeah.
God bless him, you know, because older people tend not to be able to keep their
Full
mouth shut.
streets own.
So he continued.
People tend to not be able to keep their mouth shut.
So he's because they get to say whatever they want apparently when they're older. That's what I heard. So Bob said in this at the meetings that he was very excited to have Brandon Cooks
Yeah.
on the team because that's the best wide receiver that the Patriots have had since Randy Moss. And I'm thinking isn't there a guy named Edelman that might
Well,
take
did he
offense to
say?
that?
Did he say best, or he said that a wide receiver like this, which I took
Yeah.
to mean a real speed
Yeah.
threat down the field?
Yeah, but Randy Moss and Cooks are completely different wide receivers.
Yeah, but
No, he's a down the field
I
guy.
thought it was
he's talking
just
about.
I thought it was just
He's
a throwaway
Brandon
comment.
Cooks is going to be a huge upgrade over, unfortunately, the guy I like, Amendola.
Right, but
You are such a conspiracy.
But wait, well, don't you think if you're Edelman, you'd be a little confused by that statement, not include him?
Well, no, he works it a little further down the field, a little more than
I know, but I'm not
Edelman
getting
does.
into X and O's, Joe, right now. I'm saying
Well,
that
then
you
you
guys
should've
should have mentioned.
You said Welker.
Well, that's not going to happen, right? But he's got to mention Edelman. Look, if the NFL wants us to be keyed in on them 365 days a year, then
Yeah.
you make statements like this where we used to ignore them. We're going to be on shows like this, and we're going to talk about it.
So it seems to me that you might be right about that. The Butler thing may have.
Mike.
I'm so confused by this Jimmy G stuff. No, I think you might have been right last week when you said Belichick knows he has all the leverage on this Malcolm Butler thing because all the things that were said today with Sean Payton saying we're not signing him to an offer sheet, it's now making it seem like Belichick has basically told these guys, if you want him, sign him to an offer sheet and give us that 11th pick.
Yeah.
I think you're right in
He
that
shut it
he has
down.
all the leverage.
Right, but there was no other side deal if
Yeah.
you get Cooks. That was
I think that's right. I think Belichick stepped in and said, fellas, everybody calm down. I'm the one who gets to decide what happens here.
Yeah, the
Right.
Patriots own the rights to Malcolm. They own the rights to Cooks.
That's right.
They own everything.
I now own the house. I may want you to rent it from me or I may not. It's now my choice. What we talked about before I bought the house is no longer.
But doesn't it look like Butler's likely to play here next year?
Oh, Butler's
Isn't-
playing this
and
year,
isn't
yeah.
that the best outcome?
It looks again like it's the Patriots world and everybody else is just in it.
Just
you know?
lapping the field.
But this is my point that the
In the
Patriots.
off season.
That's
But
right.
the Patriots are setting the market for everyone on every aspect of football. So the Patriots are setting the salaries for these players now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, if the Patriots are only going to pay Hightower X, we're sure not going to go above that and pay Y because they
right.
must know more than we do.
Then the fans of the Tennessee Titans say, well, the Patriots wouldn't have given them that.
That's right.
So
Right.
we shouldn't give them that.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think that's
Totally.
right. I think the same thing's happening with Butler. There people are saying if the Patriots aren't signing this guy long term, they signed Stephon Gilmore. What's wrong with Butler?
Yeah. Why, if the Patriots, because they obviously asked Butler when
They
he was
know
being
more
offered.
than anyone else about Butler.
Yeah, so we figure the Patriots are probably offering, what, $7 to $8 million a year for Butler, I would assume?
They offered 7
I bet
year
there are
ago, and he
somewhere- I
would
bet
have made
there's
out
somewhere
better.
like 8 to 10.
So right, and obviously after the Gilmore deal, you're thinking Butler's looking for 15,
Yeah.
and you got to give up on your number
Yeah,
one
it's not
pick.
gonna
And
happen.
where does that leave Revis?
Out.
Working for the minimum wage with the Jets paying his salary,
Yeah,
which will
Butler's
be
back.
great.
Revis may be one guy because you know these veterans hate training camp. He may be a guy
Yeah,
when he
that's a
sees
great
some
point.
And we
injuries.
need a slot corner without Logan Ryan. Malcolm Butler showed he can't play the position.
But he'll be a guy that goes to a team mid-season, so then he can collect his little check. Hopefully, he plays well enough
Yeah.
to get another
He
contract.
gets the $6 million whether he plays or not.
Yeah. So, all right, that's our show. I mean, that went quick, as it always does. Great to have all the boys back.
We never
Want
got
to
to
thank
the
the
first
fellas.
place Celtics.
Want to thank everyone behind the scenes, of course, the lovely and talented Adrian. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.
Shout out to the handsome Todd, too.
All right. Fun.